Aloha and welcome to this practice WOD called Project Euler Problem 1. The goal here is to help you get started using JS Fiddle and, writing a very simple JavaScript program or function and to get you acquainted with this whole work out of the day idea. So the first thing is to make sure that you've reviewed the style guide because in particular, we want to use const and let for defining our variables, not var. And there's, kind of subtle reasons why var can have unexpected behavior. If you stick to const and let, things work better. Okay, so hopefully I will succeed in always using let and const and not var, and hopefully you will not use var ever because you're just starting off. Sorry about that. Let me get back to the. You are learning JavaScript for the most part, for many of you, for the first time, and so you don't have any preconceived notions about use of var. You will find var all over the place in JavaScript code that you read, which is why part of the problem learning JavaScript is that, and I'm going to try to help you in this class, is that you want to start off writing modern JavaScript and not fall into the bad habits of old JavaScript code. Second thing is this Chrome browser. You want to be using Chrome browser. That's because we want to use the developer tools environment. Okay, and then we're going to use JS Fiddle. So if we go to JS Fiddle over here, and you can see I'm already logged in, and let me just discard that so it's left over. So what we're going to actually do is solve problem 1, and problem 1 is to list find the sum of the natural numbers below 10, or the natural numbers below 1,000 that are multiples of 3 and 5. And if, for example, the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5 are 3, 5, 6, and 9, and some of those is 23. So that's what we're going to do. That's our problem we need to solve. We're going to do it in JS Fiddle, let's go through it. So the first thing we have to do is start a timer, because you have to time the amount of time it takes us to do this problem. You can use your watch if you want. I really like this little app called Time, T-H-Y-M-E, which records your time online. You can do it any way you want. So let's start the timer. We're going to create a JavaScript function called Project Euler 1. So let me copy that. And so I'll say function Project Euler 1. And we're going to have it take a value, max val, and it will compute following this. The function could compute the answer and print it out to the console. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this max value, which could be 10, which could be 1,000, and we'll return out the total of all the multiples of 3 and 5 below that value. So what we'll say is inside this function, we'll say let total equals 0, and then we'll say for I equals 0, I less than max val, I double plus. So we're going to have this counter, and then we'll say if I mod 3 equal 0, oops, or I mod 5 equal 0, and then we'll put parentheses around this whole shoot and match. Then we're going to say total plus equals I. And then we're going to, outside this loop, we're going to have this function return total. Okay, so there's our function. And so one thing we can do is we can say console.log project Euler 1 with 10 and see what happens. And to see what happens, we got to bring up the console right here. And then, so I did a propeller Alt J to bring up the console, and then I'm going to do a control return to run this. Oops, but I got to be in this window. Control return to run this, and we get 23. Now we know from Project Euler, the problem, that the sum of the numbers below 10 are 3, 5, 6, and 9, and that equals 23. So this is kind of our test case to see that our our logic is correct. So I'm going to assume that it's correct because we did it right for 10. But the problem is really asking, what are the sum of all the multiples below 1,000? So let's add a couple there, do a control return. Now we get 233168, and that, I think, turns out to be the right answer. So let's go back to our WAD. So we informally tested our program. Press the Save button to create a URL to run our code. So we'll press the Save button. There is the URL, there's the URL that we can use to share our code and show what we've done. Stop your timer and record our time. So we'll say finish. And it was 3:31. Where is it? 3:35. 3 minutes 35 seconds. So we'll say below 4 minutes is a good RX time. AV 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and so forth. So there you have it, our very first use, well, anyway, a use of JS Fiddle, maybe not the first that you've used, to solve Project Euler 1.